Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance.
Robert Kennedy's words, delivered in a 1966 speech to students struggling against the tyranny of apartheid in South Africa, speak to an abiding faith in the power of the individual, the power of one act to transform a life or countless lives, the power of an ideal to change how people look at their world. We at the Mentor Network share that faith. It is the cornerstone of our mission. Many of us came to this work because we believed that there should be a new approach to human services, one that places the goal of full human equality within the reach of every individual. A child with emotional and behavioral challenges is no less worthy than a child without. A young adult with a brain injury is no less hopeful. An older person with developmental disabilities is no less wise. We are here this evening to recognize those who work tirelessly to ensure that the individuals we serve have the opportunity to become their best selves, to enjoy life, to feel part of the human family on equal terms with their neighbors. The promise of equality burns brighter because of the 10 people who we honor this evening. These everyday heroes offer inspiration and hope in a time of uncertainty. They scale walls, they climb mountains. They show us the way through perseverance and through their unyielding belief in the power of the human spirit. The Network's Ripple of Hope Award was created to recognize those special qualities. Mentors, direct service professionals, nurses, managers, administrators, all work tirelessly because they are committed to the dignity and promise of each individual. Whether they know it or not, they create a ripple effect for those they serve, for their colleagues, and for their communities. And it is the sum total of these actions that we find the true meaning of the work that we do. I'm heartened that this award has become a recognized and anticipated event for the network family. And tonight we welcome all of you here this evening and emphasize how important this is from the top of the organization all throughout it. I want to particularly welcome our chairman, Greg Torres, and board member Pam Linehan this evening as a symbol of the commitment of the very top of this organization to how important this is. This year marks the 5th anniversary of the Ripple of Hope Award. When we gathered for our first ceremony, most of the people in the country were not yet familiar with a newcomer to national politics named Barack Obama. The city of Boston was still celebrating the end of an 86-year curse that had just concluded. Twitter didn't yet exist at the time. Tweeting was still the domain of birds. And the Great Recession, which has shifted the economic ground beneath our feet, had not yet begun. Much has changed, much that requires us to rise to unique and a new set of challenges, but thankfully some essential things haven't changed during that time. Most notably, the care and compassion of individuals like the people that we honor this evening. Everyone here at the Mentor Network remains excited by this annual event, and we are committed to it because it gets to the heart of why we do what we do. In the actions of our winners, we find meaning. In the celebration of their actions, we find renewal and renewed commitment to our work. The network's identity as a family of providers is reinforced by gathering together for this purpose. How fitting it is that we hold this year's Ripple of Hope Awards at the Boston Children's Museum, a place that buzzes with families of all compositions in a quest for learning and fun. I emphasize the concept of family because I believe that ultimately that's our goal in the biggest and broadest sense. The network's family of providers exists to create, expand, and reunite families of all shapes and sizes. We connect people to the comfort and resources of family where none may exist. We provide safe harbors. We offer innovative care support, and skills that empower individuals to create new families. Thanks to the commitment and compassion of our employees and mentors, the best of whom are with us here this evening, the network achieves its goal each and every day. When reading through the nominations for this award, I am always struck by the number of times the nominee is described as like family to the person who is in their care. The English novelist Jane Howard, meditating on this subject, wrote, "Call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family. Whatever you call it, whoever you are, you need one." We call it a network, the Mentor Network. I want to offer special thanks to everyone around the network who took the time to submit nominations for this award, for these 10 winners, on behalf of all of those who were not selected for this award this year, of whom there are many deserving people. Recognizing the commitment of our colleagues is a gracious and reaffirming process, and ultimately such acts strengthen our entire organization. It is just this strength that carries us through uncertain times. As we look around the world and in our own backyards, caution and optimism wrestle with one another in our hearts and our minds. Signs of hope one day may be dashed by distressing news the next. The challenges we face seem daunting. Yet these are the moments that call out for creativity and entrepreneurship. That's what the Mentor Network is about. We dream up solutions where none existed. We foster innovation when the old ways of doing things have run their course. And we ensure that the most vulnerable among us are lifted up and not left behind. These 10 individuals that will be before you this evening offer the very best example of what I'm talking about. So as we honor Anthony, Shirley, Bob, Cornelius, and Lily, Dee, Renee, Rich, Tim, and Delia, let us celebrate our idealism, our aspirations, and our convictions. Let us take from this evening a renewed commitment to serving others. We are videotaping the proceedings this evening, so I would ask that you remain seated for the duration of the program. We welcome your applause, although at the end of the program you'll have the opportunity to give our winners the standing ovation they surely deserve. Now I'd like to turn the program over to Bruce Nardella, someone whose career in human services is rooted in the ideals we're celebrating tonight. As the network's chief operating officer, his personal commitment, his knowledge, and his leadership skills inspire those around him. His own experiences on the front lines of direct care are never far from his mind, which is why he holds himself and others to the highest standards. Bruce?
Thank you, Ned. Good evening, and once again, welcome to the Ripple of Hope Awards. For 5 years, we've been honoring individuals within our organization who have transformed lives in very special and profound ways. As we salute the achievements of this year's winners, we also recognize that they serve as powerful symbols to the larger network. The network family, a family of committed caregivers who work day in and day out with too little fanfare and too little recognition. This event is the network's chance to say thank you to those of you in this room and around the country who together have created a reputation of quality, innovation, and person-centered partnerships in the local community. To your credit, this reputation has endured and perhaps even grown more powerful and more positive during these difficult economic times. One of the nominators for this evening's award noted that her winners' compassion and commitment helped buoy her team spirit when they were most challenged by the recession, resulting budget cuts, and the personal and professional strain that they can have on staff. He offers very real hope, she wrote, that we can all carry on together and provide the best for those we serve. That's exactly what you've been doing every day. Across the network, we continue to expand opportunities for individuals to thrive in their own communities. In California and Illinois, our programs are helping individuals transition into the community from the Agnews and the Howe developmental centers. In Georgia, we're working with the state to transition individuals with developmental disabilities and medical challenges into the community. In New Jersey, the specialty bed program, the program one of our award winners works in this evening and has helped to make such a great success, is helping to support children and adolescents with exceptionally challenging behaviors. And at Fieldstone House in Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, another program that's run by one of tonight's winners, we're stepping up to a request from the county to serve individuals with traumatic brain injuries who also struggle with chemical dependency issues. The talent, commitment, and leadership of people in these programs create hope. And when they create hope, they transform lives. And when they transform lives, they make the society as a whole that we live in our communities, head in a better direction. I like to say that ours is a national company with the heart and the soul of a community organization, a neighborhood organization. Unfortunately, our hearts were broken this year when we learned that one of our very best mentors and one of our first Ripple of Hope Award winners was tragically taken from us and from the two gentlemen he served. Lance Goebel from Matson, Illinois, cared for others his entire life. He taught in correctional facilities, group homes, and in a hospital for those with mental illness. Then 20 years ago, Mel and Joe came into Lance's life. Two men who had been mistreated, neglected, and institutionalized. Lance made them a part of his family and part of the community. And you can guess what happened. Their behaviors changed for the better. Their health improved. And Lance himself thrived. I truly feel blessed to have this opportunity, Lance said upon receiving this award in 2005. I love what I do. This evening, we offer our gratitude for Lance's services to Mel and Joe and to Illinois Mentor. And we express our most sincere condolences to his family, most especially to Mel and Joe. Lance's legacy of caring, and the stories you will hear in just a moment, helped define the network as a unique organization within the human services constellation. That we honor the best among us with this award reinforces our mission, it underscores our values, and it reminds us of who we are, not only as professionals, but as people. Please join me in welcoming the 10 inspiring individuals who have sent out ripples of hope throughout the network and actually across the country. From South Carolina Mentor, Renee Myers. From Rem, Wisconsin, Rich Brandt. From New Jersey Mentor, Anthony Cleveland. From Massachusetts Mentor in New Bedford, Robert Costa. From Rem, Iowa, Shirley Lane. From California Mentor, Delia and Tim Shires. From Ohio Mentor, Cornelius and Lily Brown. And from REM, Central Lakes in Minnesota, Dee Thiedy. We have asked 3 exceptional leaders to present the awards tonight to our winners. Julie Fay, Bob Longo, and Dave Peterson possess a deep commitment to the people we serve and to our workforce. They are very proud of these winners. Dave, I turn it over to you to present the first award.
In her thoughtful nomination, REM Central Lakes Regional Director Lori Wurtzfeld likened Dee Thiedy to a contestant on the reality show Survivor. She's a remarkable person who accomplishes more in a week than reality show contestants do in the entire season, explained Lori. And yet she does it quietly, away from the cameras, day in and day out. Lori chose Survivor because that's exactly what Dee is. But the label only captures part of her remarkable story. Dee's great gift is that she transforms her hardships and life lessons into advantages for those she serves and for those with whom she works. The former wife of a chemically dependent husband leads a program for young men battling their own addictions. The cancer survivor comforts her colleagues after the tragic death of one of their own. The divorcee counsels her clients when their own family issues result in challenges and breakups. And the list goes on. Dee's years as a school paraprofessional for kids with ADHD helps the young men in her care see a brighter future for themselves through education. She talks with them about the value of a GED. She prepares them for the exam. Dee helps her clients struggling with financial issues. She was once a financial management counselor for people with disabilities. Some people just listen, said one client, but not Dee. She listens and she understands. Lori knew she had a gem when she interviewed Dee for the demanding position of program director and program coordinator. One person, 2 jobs. The county had requested a new program to support young men with traumatic brain injury and co-occurring chemical dependency. According to Lori, Dee was eager to take on the challenge of developing a unique program where she and her staff could write their own script based on the reality of their life experiences. Fieldstone House, which today supports 4 young men in Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, was born. Dee is so committed to the guys at Fieldstone House that she chose to move to the very same neighborhood after selling her home in the country. Now she lives a block away from work. The guys respect my privacy, she said, but it's convenient when difficult situations arise, which is exactly what happened when one client recently ran away. Dee immediately organized a search team and led her staff onto the streets of nearby St. Cloud from 5:30 in the evening until 1 in the morning. She searched bars, a dance hall at a local college, even pawn shops and clubs on the seedier side of town. She was on a mission, and not even burly bouncers could stand in her way. But the next morning, Dee was hot on the client's trail. She talked to bank tellers from whom he withdrew money, taxi companies, and the St. Cloud police. The police were amazed at her ability to anticipate the client's actions and thereby stay just a footstep behind him throughout the search. Later that day, police found him trying to enter his childhood middle school. They declined to press charges, largely because of the determined advocacy of Dee and her staff. Dee is characteristically humble when she talks about the positive impact she has on her clients and on her colleagues. My life experiences make me a better person, not a bitter person, she explained. Dee, for turning every challenge into opportunity for those you serve, for skillfully walking in other people's shoes with understanding and compassion, thereby enabling you to lead them forward, and for approaching all you do with uncommon grace, good humor, and optimism. I'm proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
Lily Brown's voice fills with light and laughter when she hears her foster son's name. "That's my baby boy," she gushes. Her baby boy is her 10-year-old foster son. Now let's travel back in time together to September 2008. This boy and his two brothers are hysterically clutching the van that brought them to the Browns' home. They are three terribly frightened, neglected, and abused little boys. Lily's husband, Cornelius, turns to her and asks, "Do you really want to do this?" "Yes," she answers without hesitation. Clearly, there is something wrong here. Lily and Cornelius Brown don't back down from a challenge. After raising 5 children of their own, they became foster parents with Ohio Mentor. When they adopted a troubled teen in 2003, they took a break to get her on her feet, but came back as foster parents in 2007. All told, they've cared for nearly a dozen foster children. The Browns have the rare ability to connect with difficult children in their home, and they're able to be the catalyst for positive change, wrote Lisa Clark, Director of Operations for Ohio Mentor and Browns Nominator. Making a connection with her new foster son took some time and patience. "We could see that there was good inside this child," said Cornelius, "but the nightmares of his past proved difficult to banish. Abuse and neglect left him unable to trust. He craved security, but feeling secure was next to impossible. So he turned to violence. Night itself haunted him. Cornelius and Lily took turns staying awake, reading aloud for hours on end. He thought we were going to leave him," explained Lily, and progress was elusive. He became a danger to himself and others. On 3 different occasions, he was forced to receive treatment in a psychiatric hospital. Each time, he feared the Browns would abandon him. Each time, they brought him home. "We let him know we were going to hang in there," said Lily. "We told him that he's having some bad times, but we're going to love him regardless." They accompanied him to all his psychiatric appointments, school team meetings, and other counseling sessions. Weeks turned into months. Steve Tunstall, lead case manager at Ohio Mentor's Valley View office, kept waiting for a call from the Browns explaining they had done all they could. "I've been doing this 33 years, and I know few who have been through what these two have been through." That call never came. After a year, the Browns' foster son has made the courageous leap to trust again. He has started sleeping on his own most nights. He plays football. He has joined his church's usher board, and he is finally able to smile. "We told him that what happened to him doesn't have to color his life," said Lily. "He can have a whole new beginning. There are endless things that he can do." His newfound sense of stability and strength has given the Browns the opportunity to offer their love to yet another foster child. A 10-year-old girl recently moved into their home. What motivates these extraordinary people? "If the love of God is in you, there is urgency to show God's love," explained Cornelius. "God has shown us great mercy and love, and we want to share it with children." "Suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not," said Jesus in the New Testament book of Matthew. "For such is the kingdom of heaven." Lily and Cornelius Brown, for providing the closest thing to heaven on earth for children in need, for refusing to give up on yourselves and on your baby boy and the other children in your care, and for your powerful embodiment of faith, hope, and love, I'm proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
Occasionally, those bumper sticker sayings offer nuggets of wisdom that stay with you for a lifetime. Here's one. Friends are the family we choose for ourselves. Shirley Lane has taken that sentiment to new and inspiring levels. Just ask Shirley about her guys, the 3 men ranging in age from 40-something to 60-something who live together in a small group home in Hiawatha, Iowa. On paper, she is their direct support professional, but really she is their big sister, best friend, staunch advocate, and fearless leader. The start of her shift is often the best part of the day. They see you and they are reassured, said Shirley. They just know that you're there for them. They trust you. It is a trust built on Shirley's personal approach to her job. I have the guys to my house. We grill on the holidays. They love my dog, and my kids adore them, explained Shirley, who was the mother of 2 young sons. I'm raising my kids with them, she said about her guys. It's very important for me to let my boys know that people are different, and that's okay. Perhaps it was Shirley's mother's intuition that led her to make a fateful decision one December day. One of her guys forgot to bring his lunch to the REM vocational site. That was unusual for him, so she offered to retrieve it and bring it back to the house. When she returned, she found another one of her guys moaning in pain. As Shirley and the nurse were discussing his condition, he turned purple, stopped breathing, and lost consciousness. Shirley jumped into action, performing quick breaths of CPR, while another staff person delivered chest compressions. After 3 to 4 minutes, the consumer regained consciousness. They learned later that he had had a heart attack. Shirley and her co-workers' response, so quick, saved his life. Her crisis skills are matched only by her relentless advocacy. She is with her guys in a pinch, and she's with them over the long haul. Take the case of one of Shirley's longtime consumers. When his personality changed and his behavior became more erratic and dangerous, Shirley sensed that he was suffering from a physical ailment, perhaps even the dementia that she knew ran in his family. Nothing appears to be wrong, said one doctor. This is part of his mental retardation, said another. Shirley knew better. She refused to give up and continued to seek a medical professional who could give real answers and real relief to her guy. Meanwhile, his worsening condition put his REM placement in jeopardy. He was requiring a higher level of care. Shirley gathered together a team of the consumer's advocates. She conferred with his family. She called several facilities until she found a REM program that could serve him well. She also located a doctor willing to take another look at his condition. As Shirley had suspected, he was in pain caused by a chronic infection, and he was experiencing dementia associated with early Alzheimer's, a very common disease for aging individuals with autism. New medicine and a new treatment plan were prescribed, and Shirley also dedicated her own time to train the staff in the new REM location on how to best serve her consumer. Thanks to Shirley, this consumer continued to live as independently as possible in his own home with the respect and dignity he deserved. Shirley exemplifies the best qualities of REM Iowa employees, wrote Patrick Costigan, REM Iowa's regional director and Shirley's nominator. Shirley understands the importance of the relationship between the caregiver and the person receiving care. She also believes you have to enjoy what you do and never forget to have fun with the people you care for. Shirley, for treating those in your care with the love and respect of your closest relatives, for folding them into your own remarkable family so that they know the joy, fun, satisfaction of close relationships, and for using your remarkable skills and sharp instincts to ensure that every life you touch is a life lived to the fullest. I am proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
Walk into the Eureka, California home of Delia and Tim Shires on any given day, and you may think you've been transported to the set of the 1980s sitcom, The Golden Girls. A multi-generational group of women are sipping coffee, applying the latest cosmetics, and engaging in good-humored banter. You might find Karen, coffee cup in hand, singing her own tune or talking about the greatness of being Greek. There's a good chance you'll see Rhett and Scarlett on the TV screen. Gone with the Wind is Karen's favorite movie. Jennifer will stroll in without the walker she had when she arrived at the Shires. Talking isn't her thing. Her hearing is almost gone, and at 71, she'd rather spend her time picking out nice clothes, matching jewelry, and a good lipstick. Looking her best makes her feel happy and self-confident. Their mentor, Delia Shires, is likely running the show from her kitchen, where she dreams up healthy meals that meet everyone's dietary needs. Fresh produce from Delia's own organic garden are now staples in their lives. No wonder the ladies are fitter than they've ever been. Unlike the Golden Girls, though, there's a man in the house. Jennifer beams when Tim Shires strolls through the door. A baker by day and a minister on the weekends, Tim makes a point of spending one-on-one quality time with both Karen and Jennifer. He and Karen take daily walks to catch up and keep Karen in shape. He became Jennifer's personal nurse when an ingrown toenail made it painful to walk. Jennifer relished the attention. For Delia, caring for Karen and Jennifer has provided a new sense of personal mission. I became more alive, the former teacher said, about life after the ladies arrived at their home. Delia's teaching skills came in handy right away. It was difficult finding a day program for Karen, who lives with the effects of a severe brain injury caused by an accident when she was 15 years old. She spent her days practicing the clarinet, doing puzzles, and working on other mind-strengthening activities. Delia incorporated physical exercise, hygiene, social skills, educational activities, community outings, and emotional supports into the daily routine. Both Tim and Delia worked with Karen on behavior modification strategies, which have made a significant difference in her life. I feel like I'm starting my teaching career all over again, said Delia. Last May, Jennifer joined their family when her group home closed. In addition to deafness, she lives with a mental illness and a multitude of physical ailments. Her health issues kept the Shires up throughout the night, but no amount of sleep loss keeps this family from their busy daily routines. They go everywhere with us, said Delia. Tim and Delia's family, friends, church members, and community acquaintances have embraced Karen and Jennifer with open arms. And Delia and Tim work hard to maintain the ladies' connections with their own families. They recently drove 3.5 hours each way to reunite Jennifer with her sister. The two had lost contact years before. The trip was so successful that the Shires have agreed to drive Jennifer back every other month. Both families see remarkable changes in Karen and Jennifer. For Karen, the dark moods she had prior to coming to the Shires are gone. She's engaged and smiling. Jennifer is healthier and more mobile. Those changes make the experience worthwhile for the Shires, who don't view what they do as anything special. I've changed, explained Delia. I've learned even more that serving, giving, caring for those who have special needs matter more than anything else. Delia and Tim for replacing frustration with success, darkness with light, anger with joy in Karen's life, for offering Jennifer a chance to feel beautiful and happy every day, and for creating a model of warmth and love for all mentors to follow. I'm proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
If Bob Costa had decided to take up blackjack instead of social work, he very well might have become a Las Vegas legend. You see, beating the house is Bob's specialty. Bob doesn't trade in cards or money, though. His goal in life is to find the most creative ways to make his kids' lives happier and more successful. If bureaucracy is an obstacle, Bob simply finds a way around it. People say no all the time, he explained, but you have to be able to do it. There's always a way, and you try to exhaust every way. Take the $200 pool table when Bob was just starting out at St. Vincent's Orphanage in Fall River, Massachusetts. The kids loved to play pool, but buying a table was definitely out of the budget. So Bob and the kids organized car washes. The kids learned to set and work towards a goal, and the money they raised purchased the pool table and hours of enjoyment. A more serious example is Bob's advocacy on behalf of a student with special needs in Fall River. The school department was refusing to fulfill his IEP. Bob warned that he would bring in an education advocate to extract the services this child deserved, a move that could end up costing the department far more than the services themselves. The department dug in its heels, but so did Bob. The advocate was a success, and this year the student will graduate high school with honors. "This is what drives me," said Bob. "This is what I think is fun." And Bob's fun is contagious. Just ask the 18 Massachusetts mentor kids who have attended the Tim Hortons summer camp in Kentucky over the past 2 years. It was Bob's leadership and his determination that created this opportunity. His connection with a mentor, who also happens to own a Tim Horton restaurant, resulted in scholarships for each and every camper. "Camp is transformational for these kids," said Bob. "They are different people when they come off the bus from Kentucky. They're happy, excited, and they've picked up a variety of leadership skills." The idea of sending a Massachusetts kid far away seemed a bit daunting to me, but in typical fashion, Bob refused to take no for an answer. He had seen the positive impact of camp on the kids he served at St. Vincent's. He offered a persuasive argument, and he was on top of every detail. Tenacity, infatigable tenacity, that's what Bob brings to his job, and everyone he touches benefits. Young adults are developing independent living skills thanks to a curriculum that he created. At least 4 kids credit their decision to attend college to his intervention. Student interns shadow him to learn what he knows by instinct. And his staff enjoy a daily reminder of what commitment and excellence looks like. Bob laments the time his new supervisory role takes away from his interactions with kids. He's a former college hockey coach, after all. He sees many similarities between life on the ice and the positions he's held with Massachusetts Mentor. They're all fast-paced, exciting, and full of responsibility. And Bob being Bob means that he'll find some way around not seeing enough of the kids. Mijeda Almeida, Bob's program manager, tells the story of one young person recently struggling with his placement. Bob was swamped with work that day, but he got on the phone with the boy anyway. According to Mijeda, Bob shut his office door, and they talked for over an hour. "I'm not giving up on you," he said to the boy, "and neither is your mentor. There's nothing you could say to make me stop believing in you." Bob, for turning no into yes with your tenacious, positive spirit, for teaming joy with commitment, fun with responsibility, and for making it so that kids experience childhood in its purest sense with the hope for a future of endless possibilities, I'm proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
Perhaps Anthony Cleveland's inspiring leadership can best be summed up by his favorite writer, Ralph Ellison. "Eclecticism is the word," wrote Ellison, "like a jazz musician who creates his own style out of the style around him. I play by ear." So too does Anthony. His decades of social work have given him the ability to improvise with a skill that dazzles everyone he meets, from the cynical teenager to the seen-it-all colleague. Anthony describes himself as a student of the human condition. And we all know, that humans are improvisational creatures. But unlike Coltrane and Ellington, Anthony's greatest compositions are his kids, young people whose anger, trauma, mental illness, and sadness have led them to a series of bad choices and destructive behaviors. Anthony is their life raft. Anthony has the New Jersey Specialty Beds program's highest success rate of positive discharges. That means his kids are going home, they are being adopted, or they are moving onto independent living. Anthony's success is born of experience and a powerful personal commitment to young people. Advocate, counselor, case manager, supervisor, program coordinator, Anthony has held nearly every post associated with helping kids make positive choices. He's placed countless individuals on a path to stability and self-sufficiency. But to really understand Anthony, you have to walk the gritty streets of Jersey City, New Jersey. Situated across from Manhattan on the west bank of the Hudson River, Jersey City might as well be a world away from New York's glamour and bright lights. Yet its rail yards, oil refineries, and warehouses are just as important to the region's economic vitality. For Anthony, Jersey City's gang-littered urban landscape offered starkly contrasting views of human behavior. His devoted parents, grandmother, extended family, and caring teachers taught him early the value of positive role models. Why should all these kids look up to drug dealers, asked Anthony today. We need to give them alternatives. We need to give them someone to look up to. Anthony found further inspiration as a high school student when he participated in the Upward Bound program, a program that draws young people out of the inner city and exposes them to the stimulating people and possibilities of higher education. The experience was transformational, so much so that Anthony became an Upward Bound counselor during his sophomore year in college. He's been serving kids ever since. Anthony's achievements are too numerous to outline in a few minutes we have here. That he drives 2 hours each day to work and back is certainly one of them. But I do want to share with you an important innovation he brought to the specialty bed program. It's called the Youth Leadership Committee. The emotional intensity of the program's residents, the myriad challenges, often creates a good deal of friction among them. Anthony launched the committee with a town hall meeting, during which he spoke bluntly and without sentiment regarding their futures. From there, a representative system developed. 2 young people from each home meet twice a month to brainstorm solutions to problems, hear from speakers, and to drink in Anthony's special brand of motivation. They return to their individual houses where they share what they learned with their peers. For many, twice a month is not enough. They are clamoring for more interaction and more opportunity to take responsibility for their own choices. According to Anthony, it's the most beautiful thing you would ever see. Anthony's long-term goal is to open his own educational social service agency. I didn't make it to this point without a team of people helping me, said Anthony. I am fortunate to return the favor. If I can touch the life of one kid, well, that's why I do it. Anthony, for your lifelong devotion to young people and your tireless commitment to the positive growth and transformation, for finding laughter and hope and possibility where others find none, and for being that extraordinary role model you so deeply believe in, I'm proud to honor you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
Forget Hume, Kant, and Nietzsche. The world's great philosophers are often found on the pages of children's literature, and Winnie the Pooh ranks among the greatest. His relationship with Piglet offers a wonderful window into the possibilities of friendship, unconventional friendship especially. Think about it. A bear's best friend is a pig. It's more fun to talk to someone who doesn't use long, difficult words, but rather short, easy words, said Pooh. Like, what about lunch? Theirs is a bond that transcends mere language. Such is the bond between Rich Brandt and Mike, his close friend and housemate for 15 years. Rich is a live-in direct support professional with REM Wisconsin in Madison. From the beginning, Rich served as Mike's translator. Nonverbal, determined, and energetic, Mike would groan and gesture to communicate his needs. Pictures might fly off tables, furniture, and even people might land on the floor. Rich provided a source of understanding and stability for this giant personality. He became Mike's steadfast advocate. As a result, he was able to temper some of Mike's impulses and create a life for him within the community. Mike had a love of life and fun and people, and that love was able to emerge under Rich's watchful eye. Mike was generous with wet kisses and death-gripping hugs. He would playfully sneak a hand in someone's pocket just to see what was there. His quirky style endeared himself to his neighbors. Friendship came easier with Rich around. In 1997, Rich and Mike welcomed a new friend into their home. John is an older gentleman who battles emotional control issues and medical complications. Rich has provided him with the same dedicated support as he did for Mike. And 12 years later, John's brother can't get over John's satisfaction and sense of well-being. Of all the houses through the years, said his brother, this is the best one John has ever been in. Sadly, the fabric of their lives was irreparably torn this past August when Mike passed away. Your spirit was too large for your body, Rich eulogized at Mike's funeral. You literally busted out of your small frame. Maybe that is why your personality was so full of pop, pizzazz, crash, smash, zing, and whoosh. Rich went on to describe his vibrant friend as one of the gentlest souls he knew. You are set free from the confines of your earthly shell, and now your larger-than-life spirit is free to fly the heavens. I wonder if they're ready for you. Just as Mike's death was Rich's opportunity to salute a dear friend and a remarkable friendship, it was also a chance for Mike's family to pay tribute to the pivotal role Rich played in Mike's life. You provided him with so much more than care and support, said Mike's family. You gave him understanding, love, and compassion. You treated him like he was your family. In reflecting on his choice at a young age to take on the weighty responsibilities of direct support, Rich offers his own philosophical interpretation. This life chose me, he said. He resists any accolades for his transformational contributions to the lives of Mike and John. He would rather his boss and nominator, Janine Hirsch, receive this award, or the house as a group. For Rich, his years of friendship with Mike has provided the most significant reward. If ever comes a day when we can't be together, said the great philosopher Winnie the Pooh. to his friend Piglet, keep me in your heart. I'll stay there forever. Rich, for translating beauty within Mike so that he could love and be loved by others, for giving him and John more to live for, and for offering inspiration and leadership to all who work with you. I'm proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope Award.
In the New Testament book of Luke, Jesus tells the story of a Good Samaritan, a person who stumbles upon a man beaten and barely alive while walking along a road. He is the victim of a crime. He's been left for dead. People rush by, pretending not to see or choosing to ignore the human tragedy displayed before them. The Good Samaritan makes a different choice. He dresses the victim's wounds, tends to him throughout the night, and puts him up in a local inn to recover. For Renee Myers, this isn't just a familiar Bible story. This is her mission, the essence of her devotion to the children in her care. For many traveling along the road of life, the needs of Renee's children are too great, their pain too real, the starkness of their neglect too emotionally overwhelming. Pretending not to see is safer. It makes daily existence easier to bear. But easy is not what drives Renee. In fact, Renee's life is anything but. For starters, she's the mother of 6, 2 biological children, 2 adopted children, and 2 medically fragile foster children. Let me tell you a little bit about these kids. Samantha's 21 and on her way to medical school, having graduated from college at an early age. Samuel is 17. He too will finish higher education long before his peers. Donnie, adopted at age 2, is currently 11, and Jasmine, adopted at 1, is now 10. Renee homeschools all of them. They begin taking college classes in the 9th grade. She's chairwoman of the local Home Educators Association. Renee's organizational skills are legendary. She structures and manages the family day with the precision of a fine Swiss watch. In no area is this more evident than in handling the health and concerns of the medically fragile foster sons Renee and her husband Ricky have made part of their family. An email from Renee to her coordinator reads like a log of well-trained physician, an alphabet soup of prescriptions and dosages and various therapies. The family calendar is packed with specialist appointments, and this is just for one of the boys. That foster son arrived at Renee and Ricky's home at the age of 8, weighing just 14 pounds. Yes, 8. Yes, 14 pounds. The medical needs of a body so malnourished would be beyond the scope of most foster parents, but not Renee. Over the course of the 2 decades, she and Ricky have cared for more than a dozen children, most of them with extreme, complex medical issues. They knew abuse, explained Renee. Now they need love. Love is certainly what has sustained their older medically fragile child since arriving at the Myers home 2 years ago, where he's remained on total life support for the past 11 years. As with all of their medically fragile children, he's in long-term pre-adoption care with Renee and Ricky. These 2 boys finally have a home. Supporting this joyful family is a community effort. We have teams, exclaimed Renee. Nurse friends, church friends, even the kids pitch in. Everyone knows CPR. For this family, changing a trach and feeding through a G-tube is stuff of ordinary life. If nothing else, we've taught the community, offered Renee. Our kids go everywhere, and that's opened people's eyes. In March, the Myers will take their kids to Disney World, another stop on a journey of love, joy, and caring. This is what we were called to do, explained Renee. This is our ministry. Renee, for living St. Augustine's belief that she who is filled with love is filled with God himself, for strengthening and transforming the most fragile lives with that love, and for inspiring your community, your family, and everyone you touch, I'm proud to present you with the Ripple of Hope.
This evening has been truly outstanding. I think we're all inspired and uplifted by our colleagues and their dedication to the people the network supports. Let's rise and congratulate all of our winners again. But at the conclusion of this wonderful event, we have an extraordinarily talented young woman to join us. I'd like to introduce Ayla Brown, a former American Idol contestant. Ayla?
I just want to say that this has been a truly inspirational and eye-opening night for me. So I want to congratulate the winners of these awards and give them another round of applause, please. to you guys. I want to sing a song dedicated to you. And I want to thank you guys for having me here tonight. This is Hero by Mariah Carey, one of my favorite songs. So I want to open up my gift to you guys and say thank you for being here.
Inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into yourself, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you'll cast your fears aside, and you know you can't survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, and that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face